Valley, Virginia, the daughter of a Chicana from Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico, and a father of Scotch-Irish descent, whose family has had roots in the valley since the early 1700s. I lived in a bilingual, bicultural home that really kept me on my toes and always having to navigate the two sides of my culture. From an early age, I tried to bridge this chasm through music, originally singing in church and then writing songs inspired by my Appalachian heritage and my Mexican heritage with my mom, filling my ears and my heart with all kinds of country music, but from two different countries. As an adult, I continued to write songs and explore my heritage, eventually meeting my husband, Dave Berzonsky, an amazing musician with such a deep perspective into world folk music and culture. We've traveled a lot over the years together in Latin America, immersing ourselves in all kinds of music from Brazil to Peru and to Mexico, where we came across a style of music called Son Jarocho of Veracruz. We fell in love with it. The playful poetry, dancing, the rhythms, and the community around it, and how it always included the next generation in learning the tradition. It reminded us of home, of Appalachian fiddle music, and potlucks and festivals and clogging. We always thought that maybe one day we would be able to explore these two traditions and weave them together into something new. With the generous support of Virginia Humanities, we've finally been given the opportunity to do just that, to explore the Son Jarocho tradition, dive into the structure of its poetry and song forms, and collaborate with master poet and musician Zenén Zeferino Cuervo, who's been highly influential in the reemergence of traditional Son Jarocho in Veracruz, and whose dedication and open-heartedness has helped bring it to the world. Together, we introduced Mexilachian Son, new songs for an emerging Virginia culture. In this project, we are exploring the rich traditions of Son Jarocho, an Afro-Mestizo musical culture rooted in 18th century Veracruz, informed by the poetry of Renaissance-era Spain and animated by the nature and legends of tropical Mexico. We weave this tradition together with Appalachian music, which is a hybrid of Scotch-Irish, African, and Native American influences, with lyrical themes coming from the English ballad tradition. In this process, we emerged with an understanding. Traditions are not static. They're always evolving, and as people migrate from one land to another, their traditions migrate as well, picking up new ideas and stories along the way. So we gathered interviews with Latin American immigrant friends and family in Central Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley. We chose two traditional Son Jarocho pieces, La Guacamaya and Las Poblanas, and wrote new verses inspired by the stories that we heard. Then we created new arrangements of the songs, collaborating with our friends Kristen Hubbard and Maddie Metcalf from our group, the Lua Project, to blend Appalachian and Mexican musical ideas. This created the birth of something new, Mexilachian Son, a mixture of the propulsive rhythms and energy of Son Jarocho with the stark beauty of the English ballad and the lilt of the Appalachian fiddle melodies. We've also created a page on our website filled with video clips, studio recordings of the songs, and a selection of photographs from the project that aim to create a portrait of the Shenandoah Valley in this moment of time. We invite you to peruse its contents. We see ourselves as capturing a moment in the evolution of the culture of a region, an evolution that takes place over multiple generations. As artists, we want not only to preserve the traditions of the past, but to allow them to dance together and to nudge something new into being. That means looking at the details of an artistic tradition, at the elements the different traditions share, and also what sets them apart. I view myself now as what I like to call a bridge child. And as we work with these musical ideas, we're hopeful that they will integrate more fully over time so that our children can play on this beautiful bridge, and that these disparate cultural traditions will fuse and blend and just become family traditions of song and food and dance and community here in Mexilacha.